Yes.
Pyrex and microwave in
I'm
the
out
whip.
here,
You
you
probably
heard?
think I'm baking cake when I'm working the whip. You probably think it's Pyrex.
Whole lot of shots followed after I bust your snot box. Witness a rock bottle. Shoot the fair one, mono the clown.
Welcome to Senior Basketball Analyst. Today we're going to do multiple shows. We're going to break them up. We're starting here with the nitpicking of Steph Curry, but we're also going to do today, we're going to do JJ Barea versus Russell Westbrook, game from last week. We're going to do the importance of our guy Draymond Goon Green. And we're also going to do, I've been told and asked about, hey, you don't ever talk about the Bulls, it's a local team. And I don't talk about the Bulls that often because, frankly, they're not much of a national story. But I will do today. I'm going to talk about some the front office. So I'm going to talk about the two-headed monster of Gar Forman, the general manager of the Chicago Bulls, and his boss, executive John Paxson. So first, starting with Steph Curry. Steph Curry is obviously the reigning MVP. He's a great player. He's an unprecedented jump shooter, scorer. He likes to show you during the games, finishes with either hand with some incredible English on the ball, hitting the top of the backboard and scoring. Steph Curry does things with the basketball that, frankly, we haven't seen in NBA games consistently from guys. You'll see certain tricks, but Steph Curry has a set of tricks that are a little different. Very similar how a guy like Jamal Crawford does moves that other people don't do. Steph Curry has a whole array of plays that he makes that are signature Steph Curry plays. So we know how great he is, and anybody that is following social media and follows NBA accounts, there's just vine after vine, video after video of Steph Curry doing amazing things. But let's talk about a couple of the drawbacks of Steph Curry because they do manifest themselves, and it's important stuff. It's not something that you can really just dismiss. It matters when Steph Curry makes mistakes, especially given how great a player he is. It matters when he makes mistakes. So one of the things that Steph Curry will do from time to time is he'll play with the basketball. And this is important because he plays on a team, especially given the way that their team functions. He plays on a team that is extremely disciplined and consistently does the right things. They make the extra pass. They cut to where they're supposed to cut. When they're supposed to baseline drift, they get there. They baseline drift at exactly the right time, not too early, not too late. When they're supposed to fade away from the baseline, they get there to the wing right on time, not too early, not too late. But inexplicably, and I shouldn't even say inexplicably, I know why he does it. Steph Curry is so confident at this point, and he has worked himself into such a level of excellence with the basketball in terms of his ball handling and shooting that he just gets overconfident. It's basketball hubris, sometimes the things he does. And he doesn't get bitten by it very often. Again, we're nitpicking him, right? But occasionally he does things that can mess a game up because he just decides, you know what, I'm going to try something that is needless and really doesn't help us win, but I'm going to do it for style points. And it's unnecessary. Sometimes you'll see a behind the back pass, sail out of bounds or something like that. But I'm going to give you an example that actually lost them a game to a vastly inferior franchise in the Denver Nuggets. Hey, we're happy about the resurgence of Danilo Gallinari. We love Will Barton. In fact, Will Barton would have had a chance at an all-star selection if he wasn't languishing on the bench for no reason on a bad team. He's obviously their best player, and he's on the bench. And then you look and you go, man, why are we bad? Well, for starters, your best player's on the bench. So enjoy. There's your Denver Nuggets, everybody. But they lose a game to the Denver Nuggets, and we're going to talk more about this in the importance of Goon Green video. But let's go to just a quick video from my Vine account of Steph Curry in one way where he can inadvertently lose you a game for no reason. So you see he's got Danilo Gallinari in the ISO. His team is down 2 points. Now, you would think when I'm looking at this, I think he's just going to blow past Gallinari. Gallinari is a slightly above average sized small forward, but he's got slow feet. He's not a particularly good defender. Just blow past him. What does Steph Curry do? He needlessly plays with the ball, and then Danilo Gallinari dives around top of it. Look at what is he doing? What is he doing? And here's the thing: this is the type of play that if you were playing in a pickup game with Steph Curry and he did that, you go, "What are you doing in a pickup game?" In an NBA game, there's no reason for him to do that. Now, again, to reiterate and make this clear, I'm nitpicking him because in this was a 20-point quarter for Steph Curry. I think he missed one shot in that quarter. Steph Curry played amazing. But the reason I don't like this error is because it's a needless error. And that's why I don't like. This is not an aggressive error. This is not you trying to make a play and you turn the ball over and you say, well, he made the wrong play. This was him just fooling around with the ball, trying to create a highlight reel. No reason for it. All he had to do, he could have not put a move on at all and just accelerated, or he could have just crossed over and changed direction, and he would have turned Gallinari like a top. Gallinari would have had no chance of defending him, and he could have gotten to the paint and set up a wide open jump shot for Cine. They should have won that game. They should have won the game, but he fooled around with the ball, and after playing a basically flawless quarter, he needlessly threw it away. Again, nitpicking. Now, here's something that's much more important that is a weakness of his game. In the past, the Golden State Warriors actually have addressed this in the past. And that's the interesting thing about Steph Curry as an MVP. He's not a LeBron type MVP where LeBron is like Galactus and he descends down on the court like it's, a planet that he's going to eat. Steph Curry is a conventional basketball player. We get enamored with the long jump shots and his tremendous skill level, which is supernatural. But the way he fits into the framework of a game is much more conventional in that he has weaknesses that you can pick on. Coming out of college, one of his weaknesses that he has improved on, but is still not really a great player, is defensively. In the past, Jarrett Jack has functioned as the guy that takes Steph Curry's man when Steph Curry has too much of a workload defensively. When Jarrett Jack got his free agent deal and left the Warriors, then that became Andre Iguodala's job. Now, where the Golden State Warriors is, hey, this is a team game, man. Everybody does not have to be an individual on an island, Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverly, Chris Paul style defender. Everybody doesn't have to be like that. You can be a guy that just pushes people into help. You don't have to be, a defender that is great in ISOs. You don't have to be like that. San Antonio Spurs have won multiple championships with Tony Parker. Tony Parker cannot defend anyone on an island. He's not Steve Nash bad defensively, but he's pretty bad defensively by himself. But what Tony Parker does, he knows where his help is coming, and then his help is always on time. Rotations behind the help, always on time, which is why the San Antonio Spurs this year are not just the best defensive team now, they're one of the best defensive teams that has ever played. If they keep up this pace, I think they will be the best defensive team in history. That's why the point differential is the largest in the league right now. So to get back to Steph Curry, to give you a prime example, Chicago Bulls. Now, the Golden State Warriors wiped the floor with them. And to give you an idea of how the Chicago media works, Derrick Rose gets blamed for the game even when he stomps on the competition. Derrick Rose had 29 points in 30 minutes of play. Just outstanding play. I think he took 15 shots or something to get 29 points. He was outstanding, incredible. I turn on Mully and Hanley on the score, 670 AM. This is a CBS radio affiliate. Turn on the score. Mully and Hanley have their garbage show on in the morning. These guys are complaining that Derrick Rose checked out in the first quarter at some point because he was tired. He had 29 points in 30 minutes. Now, meanwhile, Pau Gasol has 1 point. They spent maybe 5 seconds on Pau Gasol. You know, your all-star center. His 1 point. And slept walk through the game. The way Pau Gasol played was disgraceful. It was disgraceful. He's mentally and physically lazy against the best team in the league. He just goes out there nonchalantly and sleepwalks through the game. And it's no criticism. Pau Gasol is another one of those players that just, if he plays great, he gets all the praise. If he doesn't play well, or if he, in fact, plays straight up lazy, no one says anything. So, anyway, Derrick Rose, locally in Chicago, he's being blamed for this too. Warriors blew him out. He's got 29 points. He shoots fantastic from the field. Doesn't matter. It's still his fault. Sure. But anyway, so let's go to some footage to show you, Steph Curry's, really primary weakness and glaring weakness. And Steph Curry, to be clear, Steph Curry is a defensive liability, really, in kind of all aspects, really. He's not particularly good. I wouldn't say he's particularly good in any situation. I think the strongest part of his game is that he's a very intelligent player. So he's good at getting in the passing lanes and knowing when it's okay to gamble or when it's beneficial to gamble and when not. He's very good at that and picking his spots and getting steals. In terms of individual man-to-man defense, he struggles. And one of the reasons he struggles is he's not that quick and he's not that strong. So athletically, he does have some problems sometimes. But against a guy like Derrick Rose, he was getting beat in ISOs bad enough. But one of the things that Steph Curry could still improve on defensively that would be easy and just require a little more effort is the way that he plays screens. So let's roll the footage. You see what Steph Curry did there on that screen? He's just going to lay on it. He just lays on what is really not a heavy screen by Taj Gibson. It's just a basic legal screen. He's standing still. Derrick's doesn't even set it up particularly well. Steph Curry just lays on it. He just lays on it. And then he doesn't really even play the roll man that hard. Derrick Rose really, at this point, look at where Steph is. At this point, Derrick Rose has basically, it's a choice. It's player's choice what he wants to do. He can either blow past Green and score, or he can get it to Taj for a layup. Here, he just selects, I'm going to play the backboard because, that's what I work on. Derrick Rose had like 10 bank shots in this game. And that's really, Steph Curry makes a lot of plays like that, where a screen comes and he just kind of lays on it and says, man, y'all help me out, man. I'm not, this is not really the strength of my game. And that's something he could improve on. Now, they're so great as a team, and he's such a great offensive player, and they have everything rolling for them right now. And one of the things that great players will point out about being on great teams, I've heard multiple players that have been on championship teams say this. Once you establish good habits, maintaining them is pretty easy. It's breaking habits that's hard. Breaking bad habits or good habits. The Golden State Warriors are in a good habit groove. And that's not about some false sense of momentum or anything like that. But it's just that everybody knows what is required for them every day, day in and day out to be successful. And everybody just keeps doing it because human beings are creatures of habit, like almost any mammal. We get up and do the same thing every day, and we approach things the same way. So once you establish these kinds of habits, it just perpetuates and it continues. So for Steph Curry, this is just a couple of things that he could work on. I just want to talk about him because, hey, everybody, if you want to hear people talk about how great he is, you can go anywhere and hear all about his positives. All those positives are obviously there, but I'm just talking about a couple of things that he could work on and just change a little bit. And then instead of being this great, then he'd be this great, minor things. But in reality, when you're chasing that 72, to the extent that they really care about that Denver Nuggets game, that mattered in that regard. And his great play, he kind of threw it away by being a little careless. So with that, senior basketball analyst, you know where to go, seniorbasketballanalyst.com. Follow me at SBA4String on Twitter. And you know all the accounts, SBA4String. You can type it into your favorite search engine and get it that way. So with that, you know where to go, seniorbasketballanalyst.com.
Where was I? Oh yes, Sean Carter is nice, but Sean Price is the best. Sean gone, no Sean Dawn. Sean is a dawn I don't